Do you think they will make it to the World Test Championship final this time around once again?
We had a disappointing T20 World Cup campaign from Australia's high standard.
Melbourne has once again secured the contract for the next 10 years for the Boxing Day Test matches. But if you had to choose one of them, you will bank on for the Border Gavaskar Trophy. Is it Steve Smith? If you can remember, your God was smashed out of the park by Rohit Sharma in the T20 World Cup.
So was Mitchie Stark. Oh,
are you confident you're going to make the World Test Championship finals once again? I'm confident we are going to make the final eye to eye once again. What is going to be the result for the World Test Championship final as well? Are you going to let us settle the score, or is it going to be 3-1, you're taking the lead? Finally, when it comes to WTC and the squad analysis, we had to bring in the World Test champions, who are the reigning champions, the mighty Aussies. And I had to take an Australian. Thank you so much, Jake, for coming to the show once again. Mighty Aussies in conquer of defending the World Test Championship. Do you think they will make it to the World Test Championship final this time around once again?
Oh, we can only hope so, but who knows? Obviously, our cycle is almost coming to an end, but I'm quietly confident we will make the final.
You're quietly confident that you'll make the final, but I just want to know a couple of things before we move on to the segments. That what is all about Aussies? Do they really stay calm and enjoy cricket, or is it that they show a lot in front of like the televisions or in front of everyone in the world? Are they really calm inside when they play the brand of cricket?
From my perspective, I think we are a very calm, cool, collective team. We keep our thoughts, and we let our cricket do the talking, and we aren't a very we'll say verbal team anymore like we used to, the old Australian cricket team. But at the moment now, we just let our cricket do the talking. And, we had a disappointing T20 World Cup campaign from Australia's high standard. But now, obviously, with the World Test Championship, final, really got to push towards that. And then, obviously, I think from us, we are a very cool collective group of an Australian fan saying that about our Australian players.
Absolutely. But as you brought about the T20 World Cup campaign as well, how has Mitchell Marsh settled as a T20 captain for Australia?
Well, that's very controversial in my opinion, because I'm a huge, as you know, I'm a very, very big admirer of Paddy Cummins. Like I like to call him my god, which he is. So I was a little bit disappointed when Mitchie Marsh did get the captaincy, but I can understand why he got the captaincy. Paddy Cummins, obviously, he's got a lot on his plate with the captaincy during the T20 World Cup. But yeah, as you know, I'm a massive fan of Paddy Cummins, and I do believe, honestly, he should have been given the captaincy role. So that's a story for another day, though. So, I mean, with Pat Cummins back as our leader for the Test series against India, I think, he's going to lead from the front like he always does. And I'm, very confident.
Okay, so you're confident about Paddy Cummins leading the pack when it comes to the red ball, as he has been. He's already won a World Test Championship with this side. And the squad for Australia is always thin when we'll come to that. But points table, it looks like in a second in the points table, 62%, and just below Team India, who are the World Cup champions in the recently concluded T20 World Cup. 68% India, 62% Australia. Then below you have New Zealand, Sri Lanka, South Africa, who are far away. But how important is the only series you're going to play? And I think you're only concentrated on this one, which is the mighty Border Gavaskar Trophy. I'll come to that last. But talk us through the series so far, the run through so far for Australia in the World Test Champion cycle, starting with the Ashes. 2 apiece. The way you guys played, I think the talk was about Bazball, how Bazball will play, but the way you guys performed, that innings versus Pat Cummins getting you guys into victory and the other victories as well. Talk us through about this one. How was the Ashes to start things proceeding for the WTC cycle for you guys?
Oh, well, if we're going off that, I actually did a Johnny Bairstow video today. I went out and filmed it in Perth, and the Australian public still hasn't forgotten that infamous incident. So that still lives long in our memories. But I think our first two, games in the series. The first, the first two we just were like a house on fire. Then the next two, yeah, I think we were saved by the rain for that draw. But I mean, we retain the Ashes in England, and you can't really go wrong with that. Pakistan series we absolutely dominated. The West Indies one, when we lost that, Smudge almost pulled us, just off the brink of an absolute miracle. Let's be honest there. But I just hope that one game that we lost there for the West Indies doesn't have an impact. It shouldn't. And then obviously,
But as you said about Steve Smith, almost took away that game from you guys. But talk us through the brilliance of the young Shamar Joseph in front of the Gabba, silencing the entire crowd. But the way he bowled, how massive of an achievement that is.
Oh, that was absolutely insane. Like I saw Australian people comment saying they weren't upset that Australia lost because of that performance. And as a young kid, I think he's a little bit older than myself, but that it was absolutely insane. Pulling that off at the Gabba, which is known as quite a hostile venue. Maybe not as hostile as the Boxing Day Test. Let's be honest. But absolutely insane. But as you're saying with the India series, I think it's very important for Australia. If we can potentially win 3 of those games, I'm not going to go crazy and say we're going to absolutely smash it and win 5-0. I'm not going to say that, even though I hope so. I do think if we win 3 games, that's very important for us, and it will fill me with a lot more confidence come the end of the WTC cycle.
So you're saying winning the series definitely guarantees a spot in the WTC final. Potentially, if it's something around the similar scoreline like it was against England, 2 apiece, I think more or less will secure a WTC final against India and Australia once again at Lord's this time. Before I go far too away from you guys, I heard a couple of news coming in the recent days. Melbourne has once again secured the contract for the next 10 years for the Boxing Day Test matches. Adelaide has got the New Year one as well when it comes to BBL. How iconic of a moment these are for the Australian fans. We know for the visitors as well, it's always iconic to play at the MCG, the SCG. But when it comes to you guys at your own den, MCG always hosting the Boxing Day, SCG after the New Year. How massive of a things these are. When you guys discuss in your country as
well. The Boxing Day Test is one of the biggest sporting events on the calendar in Australia. And there won't be one household in Australia which, if they're not either at the MCG, they will have it on the TV. Mark my words, every Australian family will have that Boxing Day Test, especially against India, and the likes of England as well. They will have it on the TV watching it.
So I'm sure the price of the MCG on the Boxing Day rises as well.
So, the price?
The ticket price?
The ticket price, I don't think they don't inflate it. No. They keep it. It's roughly the same. It's not inflated, which is really good because the Boxing Day Test always sells out. It's 100,000 seater stadium, MCG, and it's an iconic Australian venue. And I've not gone to a Boxing Day Test yet, and it's definitely on my calendar. On my bucket list as well. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, to get over this year to Melbourne and watch Australia versus India, because that will be. I don't think words can describe the atmosphere that will occur there. It'll be absolutely.
But I'm sure you will watch. But you will watch the test match at your own then. I think Perth is hosting one of them, right?
Yeah, Perth's number 1, and then Adelaide, Brisbane, and then Melbourne, and then Sydney. So I'm going to try to get to all 5. We'll have to see. Obviously, Perth, because I'm from. Adelaide could be the one for me. I really want to get to the Gabba, Brisbane, and the SCG, which is an iconic ground to watch cricket.
I think Adelaide will host the ping ball game as well.
Yeah, the day-night test. So I think it's a very important summer for Australia and just cricketing as a whole, because going around and being back home after going to watch the World Cup, IPL, etc., gives you a different perspective. And a lot of Australians have lost interest in cricket, and they don't know the likes of Paddy Cummins, Stephen Smith, Travis Head, and I've made the Australian cricket team and Pat Cummins, for instance. They must know who that person is.
Okay, I'll keep it up to you. But we're done with the schedule. You defeated New Zealand as well away from home. That was a massive opportunity as well. But let's take a look into the squad when it comes to Team Australia as well. I said it before as well, very thin squad. 13-member squad has been used so far in the WTC by the mighty Australians. Talk us through each and every one of them, because we see a lot of experience as well. The opening pair now, no David Warner, unfortunately. You'll miss the legend as well. But how big a challenge is it for Steve Smith to bat alongside Usman Khawaja? We saw him batting at the Ashes as well. But now he has to open against the mighty. Probably you'll see Shami, Siraj, Bumrah against you guys.
Yeah, look, I know you can't really compare T20 and Test match, but if we're going off the recent MLC, Smudge absolutely dominated. So that fills me with hope that potentially the old Smudge is coming back. And I think he'll want to prove a lot of people wrong this summer, to be honest. You know, him opening, because there was a lot of talk about it throughout the West Indies series, New Zealand series, etc. So I think Smudge is going to come out and prove a lot of critics wrong, and he's going to return back to his old ways. That's my opinion, but I also know that Smudge is capable of it, and he will do it.
So you're saying that because we have heard him interviewing a little while ago saying that number one, opening up the order is just a position, doesn't matter for me, and that's the class of Steve Smith, to be honest. Marnus Labuschagne on the other end, potentially he will bat at number 3. You have Cameron Green, who will be promoted up the order. Travis Head, once again, he has India against his shoulders.
Yeah, Travis Head performing against India. Gee, haven't we heard that before? How long you got? Because we can go on for the next hour and me talking about it, but we won't.
No, I just want to. I want you to go to the next player now, please.
Travis Head, yeah. Travis Head, we'll forget him. No, we won't. Travis Head, God. Mitchy Marsh, I think, he needs a big summer. You know, he was very disappointing throughout the. He had one semi-good game, and that was against India with the bat. But after he dropped that absolute sitter down at Gully, that still plays back in my mind how he dropped that. I just don't know. That cost the drop catches cost us.
I think that was an odd day at the office for the Australians overall.
As well, dropped an absolute sitter, and I was with a few other Australians, and we're just face palming. We're like, what the hell is going on? But no, I think Mitchy Marsh has got a big summer coming up, and Paddy Cummins, God, he will absolutely dominate like he usually does. Mitchy Stark was very good throughout the IPL. He's a little bit disappointing throughout the T20 World Cup, but obviously, you know, he's had a little bit of a break now, same as Joshy Hazelwood. So, you know, going back to those two, I think they've got a big summer coming up. And, you know, Labuschagne, he was playing county cricket, you know, in the off season, you know, before, and that's really going to help him because he was in really good form there. I think he scored like a couple of centuries. So, you know, they've all played cricket. Nathan Lyon was over in county cricket as well, dominating with the
So Nathan Lyon is fit now to play?
Yeah, Nathan Lyon is fit. So Nathan Lyon, and then you got Todd Murphy in the wings, and potentially Swepson. So I think, you know, Australia's still got a strong squad. We are an aging squad, I'm not going to lie. Scotty Boland, I'm not the biggest fan of Scotty Boland. I think, you know, a few games, you know, 2 games, he's, you know, he dominated, which made a name for himself. So I'm not really a huge fan, but I do know he has potential. And if he gets another 6 at the MCG on Boxing Day, I'm not going to complain.
Okay, but when it comes to ping ball cricket, we have seen before as well Australia going with Michael Nesser. There's another swing bowler as well. But talk us through, you spoke at the earlier of the show about Johnny Bairstow incident at the Ashes. Your only wicket keeper out in the squad is Alex Carey. Who is the backup of him in your squad? There's nobody named at the moment, but do you have anyone who is the perfect replacement or the backup of Alex Carey for the Australian team?
If we're going off that, I mean, Joshy Inglis from WA. So was part of the one-day squad, but for me, there's obviously a lot of potential for him. You know, he's still quite a young player in the terms of, you know, this current squad. And, you know, he isn't a test player, but if they were to bring someone in, he would be the ideal replacement because he can bat. The guy can absolutely bat, you know, something shocking. The last thing I would want Australia to do is bringing back a player like Matthew Wade because, you know, Wade he's played test before, but ultimately, you know, I think we saw the T20 World Cup campaign, and Wade, he's been an absolute stalwart for Australia, but I think his time has passed, and that's what I don't want for Australia to do is, you know, bring him back, you know, a Matthew Wade kind of thing just because he's a name. That's all.
Okay, so fair enough. A very thin squad, as you rightly said. Your backup wicketkeeper for Alex Carey is Joshua Inglis. So fair enough. Good squad, as we always say. Age is there, but still to get the job done is there. Most runs amongst the scorers, not surprised, Usman Khawaja, Mr. Consistent when it comes to the top of the order for Australia. Your Mitchell Marsh, with a wonderful Ashes for Australia as well. Steve Smith, Manas Labuschagne, Travis Head, 5 top-class players. But if you had to choose one of them, you will bank on for the Border Gavaskar Trophy. Is it Steve Smith?
I think I go Uzi. Yeah, I think I go Uzi. I think he thrives under the pressure, and I think facing, Bumrah is a world-class bowler, so is Shami. Siraj if he plays. I think I think they will give him. There'll be a huge challenge. There'll be an absolute huge challenge to face. But if I'm going to go off someone who can just thrive under the pressure and not buckle under it, I think it would be Uzi.
Okay, so you're going with Usman Khawaja as your player that is Mr. Consistent. As we like, you see 943 runs, but when it comes to wickets, underrated. But Josh Hazelwood is amongst the top ranks, without a doubt. Pat Cummins next, Mitchell Starc, all amongst this 50 wickets mark. How important is these three? Because the next on the line is Cameron Green with 10 wickets, Todd Murphy with 7. Talk us through the pacers. You have so many, just only spinner. Surprised not to see Lyon just because he did not get much game time. What about the other pacers?
Yeah, like you said with Lyon, I think he will be a very handy inclusion. So add him into the mix. Yeah, I think it's going to be very helpful for Australia because they won't be reliant on Joshy Hazelwood, Pat Cummins, and Mitchy Starc to bowl heaps and heaps of overs. But yeah, yep. Hazelwood and Mitchy Starc are like two fine wines. They just get better with age. And Paddy Cummins just, my God, he just he thrives under the pressure. Like most Australians do. So bowling stocks, I think it's there. It's just not bowling in the areas that the Indian batsmen like to play in. Anything full, Rohit Sharma's just going to step. Thanks for coming, bang, straight over your head, like we know how
I remember, if you can remember, your God was smashed out of the park by Rohit Sharma in the T20 World Cup.
So was Mitchy Starc. Oh, that one over that Mitchy Starc bowled still gives me nightmares.
How was your fan park or wherever you were watching in that over of Mitchell Starc when Rohit was hitting him out of the park every single time? What was the mood out there?
The mood was actually in the stands. I was with a few other Aussies. we were singing and dancing, but we out at the start of the over. We were on top of the world because we just gotten Virat Kohli out for like 6. Yeah. India are like 1 for 8, and we're thinking, oh, we're on here. We are absolutely on. And then Mitchy Starc steps up, and what was it like? I think it was like 28 or 32 and 20. I think it was like 28 in the over, and I was just like, here we go. It's going to be a long, long day. But in the batting innings though, I thought we started really well. We just couldn't go on with it. Mitchy Marsh got out to that catch. Oh my God, I think it was Axar Patel on the boundary. I don't know.
Axar Patel at deep square leg. Yeah.
Axar Patel on the boundary, and that one hander, I was so close to it, and I'm like, how has he done that? And
similarly on the other end, Mitchell Marsh dropping that catch at backward point.
Exactly. That absolute sitter, just gone straight through his hands, and then Axar Patel pulls out a blinder of a catch, which to this day I don't know how that stuck. It's like his arm went at all these different angles to catch. Oh.
But he kept his balance. He was away from the ropes as well. Similarly, on the final, talk us through what was the mood when India won the World Cup, and similarly when the catch of Surya Kumar Yadav was taken.
That catch from Surya, I think that won India the game, and I think South Africa. To be honest, I thought South Africa were home and hose. I thought they almost run a ball. And then up steps Bumrah. And then Hardik Pandya, he performed really well after, the criticism that occurred throughout the IPL campaign for him. Yeah. I think he was very instrumental in India's World Cup, win, to be honest. Hardik Pandya, he was absolutely insane, those finals. But yeah, Surya Kumar's catch, I copped, wow, that was absolutely, I thought he was over the rope. I thought there's no way he's catching this. And then he managed it somehow. So yeah, the rest is history, I guess.
Absolutely, the rest is history for Team India. But when it comes to World Test Championship, Australia are the defending champions. We'll see that. But captaincy, here is your God. We're going to speak about him as well. 28 matches, 105 wickets, 6 for 91, 10 for 97. Best bowling figures in the match. Incredible stats. Played the IPL final for the Sunrisers Hyderabad. Won Australia the T23 World Cup. Won Australia the WTC in 2023. What else can he do?
Oh, there's not much to do. Oh, actually, Champions Trophy.
Champions Trophy. Okay, that's the next target for you guys. All right. And where you want to
Champion.
play?
Where do I want to play? Oh, well, from my perspective, I would really love to travel for it. So I'm hoping we won't start any controversial opinions here. I mean, I do hope for Pakistan as a nation, it is there for them. But, if I'm being selfish, I would really like it to go to UAE or Sri Lanka or something because it's a lot easier for me to travel there. And if I want to go watch the IPL next year, then I probably won't get a visa into India if they know I've been to Pakistan
Yeah,
last. So
exactly.
I hope it's Sri Lanka, but who knows? Who knows? They're leaving it very last minute, as the ICC usually do.
Absolutely, we will see that. But when it comes to Pat Cummins, as we are saying, I want to add the match-winning knock at the Ashes, where he won Australia with the bat as well. How calm a leader he is, backs his players so much that baseball approach that England has set the template, Stokes has set the template. But the way he plays, I think kudos to the way he leads his side.
Oh yeah, he's just not just the way he plays cricket, it's the way he is as a person, and it's something who I aspire to be, because he's just a really good person in and out. He cops a lot of stuff, as a silencer, but ultimately he is one of the best blokes, one of the best cricketers you'll ever meet, and the best bloke. He, just the way he goes about him. So he's always got time for his fans as well. We'll give always when he ever sees me, gives me a little nod or salute, and for me that fills me with so much joy that Paddy Cummins knows me. So I've got no words to describe him because he's just he's my god, as I like to say.
I'll keep the God up to you because he's what a wonderful leader for Australia they have produced. And now comes the players to watch out for. Jake, I have chosen my 5 players, and it's Steve Smith at number 1, Travis Head, Cameron Green, Paddy Cummins, and Nathan Lyon are my 5 players to watch out for. An important border Gavaskar coming up for Cameron Green to showcase how he is with the bat in red ball cricket. Any changes for you? If not, if you can sum up these 5 players, please.
I'll probably take Cameron Green out, and I would put in. I'd probably put in Mitchy Starc. I think Mitchy Starc needs a good BGT series after his World Cup campaign, and I think I'll back him. So I'd take Mitchy Starc out, and I'd have 3 bowlers as my players to watch, and then obviously 2 batsmen: Stephen Smith, Travis Head. I think that's pretty nailed on. Paddy Cummins, got to watch out for him. Geez, well, and Nathan Lyon as well because he can absolutely spin a web. But yeah, Mitchy Starc. His Yorkers in swinging, good luck. Good luck facing those. 150 clicks down Boxing Day on the pads. Rod Sharma gone for 2 runs.
Okay, what if I tell you it's going to be flicked away over square leg for a boundary?
No, it's too
Anything
quick for Rod Sharma to face.
I'll once again go back to you with the 28 run over.
Well, I'm happy to go back to the 2023 World Cup.
He was not dismissed. He was not dismissed by Starc, right?
No, he was dismissed by Glenn Maxwell with a catch by Travis Head. But I'm still happy to go discuss that, and then we can discuss the WTC Championship as well. If you want.
Yeah, that's fair enough. We can also have our debates going on. Yeah, I've got 1. You got 2. We just settled the score in the WTC final, probably this time around. But you've not gone with Manas Labuschagne, Jake. Reasons behind that?
I don't know. I just feel like, Labuschagne is a little quiet achiever. I do think you should watch out for him. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, Labs, I think, he is a very quiet achiever. He'll just go about. He'll play a very supporting role if another player, like you saw in, not trying to open up the can of worms again, but like you saw in the final for Travis Head. So, I do think you should watch out for Labuschagne, but also at the same time, he's a quiet achiever, and I'll back him to score some runs for us as well. If, say Stephen Smith, Uzi Khawaja fail. Labs down 3.
Okay.
Bang.
Fair enough. So you've gone with 1 change that Mitchell Starc comes in for Cameron Green out of my 5 players to watch out for. Talking about the playing 11, I think there is nothing much to discuss about this team. But I would like to know the batting order according to you. Is it Manas Labuschagne at 3, Green at 4, Head at 5, Marsh at 6?
Yeah. Maybe Cameron Green and Travis Head can swap, but apart from that, wouldn't see any more significant changes unless Mitchy Marsh comes out and opens, and then we get the whole world shocked. But no, I can't see any other. I can't see any.
But as Travis Head has also opened in the white ball format, do you see there's an outside chance for him opening too?
Potentially, yeah, no, I could see that. But then obviously, where does Smudge go into 4? Maybe potentially. That there's an option for that, to be honest, and it wouldn't be something I'd be against because Travers proved himself as an opener. Maybe because of his aggressive way of batting, probably we can't afford to lose a wicket within the first over because he's just gone for a slog sweep over cow corner. So I'd probably leave it how it is, to be honest, at Trav down at maybe 5 or 4.
Okay, fair enough. And the rest of the playing 11 stays the same, just like Australia have always gone. And in conditions like Perth, where there's extra bounce, extra pace, it's going to be a green top. Would you still want to go with Nathan Lyon as your only spinner, or do you want to go with an extra seam of Scott Boland?
Nah, Nathan Lyon, I'd say, because Perth, as we've seen some of the Perth pitches, they're unpredictable. The cracks within one of the 2013 Ashes series, my god, they were that big. So no, I keep it the same. And Perth is notoriously known as a bouncy wicket, but also at the same time, it can get a little bit humid, so that can play a role in it as well. But no, I'd keep Nathan Lyon, and I do think it's important to have a spinner.
Okay, so you're keeping Nathan Lyon. You're keeping the same 11 for Australia, which is a match-winning side. Thank you so much, Jake. Before we end the show, are you confident you're going to make the World Test Championship finals once again?
Yeah, I'm confident in that, and my predictions for the BGT series will be 4-1 Australia.
4-1 Australia for the Bora Gavaskar series. You're confident you're going to make the final. I'm confident we are going to make the final. Eye to eye once again. What is going to be the result for the World Test Championship final as well? Are you going to let us settle the score, or is it going to be 3-1? You're taking the lead.
Nah, we're gonna win everything, as Australians do. But we'll revisit this video, next year and see if our predictions are right.
Absolutely, we'll make a new one as well to make sure that you lose in the World Test Championship final. Thank you so much, Jade. That's absolutely a pleasure having you. It's always fun. Thank you to all the viewers for watching this video. Australia, the World Test Championship reigning champions, are going to defend the title, potentially make it to the finals against maybe India or any other side. We'll see that. Thank you so much to all of you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to Fifth Umpire. Press the bell icon as well. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.